Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. So let's open the fields up. We got room for the combines to turn around properly here now, and there's room for the vehicles to get up and down in between and park up ready to be unloaded by the combine as well, which is going to make life a little bit easier for us. You come in that way like that, and off you go. So I'll leave that one to work. I love the speed that we can go with all of these things. It's absolutely fantastic. It makes it a lot more entertaining. Right. I think you are probably okay to switch over to standard hired help to finish this little bit here. So we will switch you over, because you've got a whole lot more land to start working on soon. We're going to want bigger cultivators, but before I can switch to bigger cultivators, I'm going to need bigger tractors. That's where we're going to be needing that fleet of Valtras to move in. And I'm quite looking forward to having our fleet of Valtras. I think they're going to look quite cool. So you... Right, that's perfect. That will go all the way through there. You are just about done in here, so let's get you started, shall we? I believe that this will actually go right the way. Like, I don't need to worry about doing anything on the headlands to do the fertilizer properly. From previous experience, we just start it like that, and off you go. Like, there's just enough room at the ends for it to turn round. I don't need to concern myself with it at all, so we can just leave it going like that. I'm actually going to fold that spout back in. I'm going to drive you up into the next fields. The mower will be stopped now in a second. We'll say job done. So let's put this one up here. That combine has got to come back down again at the moment, so we don't need to worry about that. This one up here is the only one that we're going to have to take something off of, possibly. We'll deal with that in a second. Yeah, you are now done. Right, it hasn't left any bits anywhere in this field. It's done a really neat, tidy job. I'm quite pleased with that. I'm going to manually do a round around the outside of this field down here, and I'm going to just do that by traveling around the very outside round of the field. I'm going to do it from outside of the field rather than how I did the last one, because this one we've cut right up to the edges anyway. But I figure if I just do one line right the way round, then certainly down this bottom end where it's got some uneven ground, it might just make life a little bit easier for it when it comes to doing its sort of trying to turn around, that sort of thing. And up in there like that. All the way up through, and then I'll just set the hired help going. I got to get that. What tractor am I going to use? I've got to get the rake sold, but I need a tractor there in order to move it onto the sale point. Unless I don't worry about that, unless I just sell it straight from up here. I mean, it's not going to be a vast amount of difference when it comes to the money that we get from it. It is a little bit of a difference, but it's not going to be a huge amount. Helper F has completed their task. That is... Oh, that's you. Right. Actually, there is a little tiny bit over there that I just want to hook on. Just want to grab. There we go. Right, we'll grab that bit. And then I will bring you out over this way. So I've got canola on 92%. The combine over here, that one's finished. Fertilizer there, that one has just about finished. There's a little bit, like, see there? There's some little bits that it hasn't done, but honestly, I don't think it's worth us bothering with that. It's not worth messing around with. The combine, I'm just going to very briefly stick it over here. Actually, I'll tell you what. If we put the combine there like that, I can then go to this one, fire you up, and drive you underneath the combine spout, and then I can go and get the tractor, and I can put that one underneath the spout of the combine that's up in the field up top. So you can go right there like that. Helper E has completed their task. Okay. I didn't realize you'd gone all the way up here. You haven't completed anything. Oh, it's the fertilizer down there. Right. Okay, well, if you're saying that you've completed your task, you obviously haven't completed anything at all, but I'll forgive you just once. And I will take that over there like that, and I'll just ignore the little tiny bits on the ends of the fields. I'm actually going to bring this one in across like this. And I'm going to spin round there like that. And then I'm going to drive it down there. I'm going to put the hired help going down through there. So you here, let's fire you up and drive you up across so that you can go and empty out this combine. I'll just park it in the crop. Let that combine empty out, and then I'll come back and I'll move it in a bit once that combine starts moving again. Because I can move the second combine up into the final canola field before I need to worry about moving this one. So it'll be a nice quick, and that'll keep both the combines moving. Keep the fertilizer going as well. Let's go and park you under there. Right, who's blocked by an object now? You shouldn't be blocked by anything. Neither should you. You're not. Oh, you are. Right. Yeah, well, I guess that makes sense. So let me go to this one. I'll move him up here out of the way a minute. He can go up there. We've got 70,000 litres so far. And then I will go to this one. Help if I start up the engine. And then move you on up through. So the seriously? How is that blocked by an object if you weren't actually planning to drive through the point where the object was? I really do worry about the overall abilities of some of our hired help sometimes. Like, it really does leave a lot to be desired. I actually want to start on this side of the field up here. I'm going to do a pass along up here. Actually, you know, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to go right up to the other end. And I'm going to start on the tree line up here. I think with the next field that I buy, that we're not actually buying a field at the moment, but the next field I buy will be field 13. So we got those, and then we can go out. We got these here. We'll go out through to field 13. And then we'll start working through the rest of them. Because generally speaking, I used to start any harvest I did on field 13. That was always the first one that I did. So if I've got field 13, then I've sort of got that first bit that I would have begun any harvest on. And then you kind of just work around everything else in like a big circle. It'll become apparent once we do start working our way through that. We're going to want bigger combines and stuff like that, but yeah, we'll get there. We will slowly get there. We'll get all of the land. We'll be able to do massive, great big harvests, and I'm not quite sure how it's all going to work out. I, for one, am quite looking forward to just slowly expanding and working my way out through everything. I got no reason to think that it's not going to work out alright for us doing all of this. No reason to think that it's not going to sort of do what I want it to do. We've got until end of October-ish, because it's Q4 that FS22 is coming out. And I'm going to run this series until the new one comes out. I thought about maybe doing another series beforehand, but no, I won't do that. I'm just going to run this one until the new version of the game comes out, and then I'll start working on something in the new version of the game. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, because, see, I got the hardcore series. That's on the Alps at the moment. I don't really want to stay on the Alps and move that round again. I don't think that's going to work out very well. And I did say I was going to go and move this one, which I ended up not doing. So our combine is sat there behind it, patiently waiting for me to get out of the way. So I'll run this down the other end of the field a minute, and then I can... That's actually, if I put that spout out like this... what I can do is I can bring the truck up and just park it underneath the spout. Because that tractor is waiting by the sidelines. He's just waiting and raring to go. I can bring this one down here, out of the way of the combine that's going to be coming down the field. So if you go to that point there, we'll then drive this one up, and that can take on the task here of unloading that bit that's in the auger wagon. Roaring up that hill there. Beautiful tones from our engine. Stunning, stunning stuff, that is. And you can go right there. So this combine should get all the way down to the end of the field and then turn around and start heading back again before we've got to unload it. And then we've got the other one over there that we've got to keep an eye on. The mowing has almost finished. Not a lot left to do of the mowing now. Only thing I'm wondering about is how much we're going to get for selling that front-mounted rake that we've got. That one there, right? That's 10,588 if I sell it direct right now. I'm not going to do that, though. What I am going to do is I'm going to go into here. I'm going to zoom in like that, and I'm going to click on that rake, and I'm going to reset that one. That's going to reset it to the shop. So I've got to obviously get a tractor down there to the shop in order to be able to move it and put it into place over the sell point. Once I've done that, the rest of it will be easy. What I might do is... Well, actually, I know what I do need to do is get this one started. We got a lot of cultivating to do, and so far, at the moment, I've only got one tractor that's going to be able to do it. So we're going to want a bigger cultivator at some point. But we got loans to pay off first. So we'll do the loans first. I'm just going to bring you over there, and you're going to do... In fact, I think I might only do a single solitary pass on here. I do want to do a few passes at the other end because there's not buildings or wall or anything like that. Up at that other end, it's a hill which does actually cause us some problems. Helper J has completed their task. That Helper J is going to be the mower up the other end, which we need to deal with. So let's bring you down here, and then I'll set the hired help going there. I need to just keep half an eye on that one because it's going to cause us some problems. You are fine. Start you up. Fold that one up, and I can go up and get that combine unloaded. What about you? I'm going to go and get this combine unloaded first, because this combine, then this one can sort of keep going. The other one can park up for a minute. The driver is up there. He's quite happy. They've got plenty of time up there, so he's going to have himself a cup of tea. And I can keep this one going because he's already had his cup of tea before he started this field. You gotta balance this out. You know, the combine drivers, they don't always get to stop to have their cup of tea. You can't do it while you're driving along, or at least not very well. You can do it, but it's a bit difficult to pour your tea out. Well, for me, it's coffee. I always found it a bit tricky to pour out my coffee when I was driving along. So I would, you know, take the opportunity whenever I was stopped up. Occasionally, though, I would just stop. I'd say, right, I'm pouring a coffee. I can't go any further. And I would stop and I would pour myself out a coffee. You can, of course, make your coffee up in a flask and make it kind of lukewarm, and then, you know, with the milk already in it, and pour out as you drive along. I don't like that because the milk goes funny partway through the day, and yeah, it comes out tasting horrible. So you know, you're in combine. They always give you a little refrigerated compartment to do with the air conditioning in there anyway. So I'd take a separate bottle of milk. I would pour out my coffee. I would put in the milk into my drink, and I would be away. Some people would take powdered milk rather than fresh milk. I'm not some people. I do not take powdered milk with me. I take fresh milk. Well, if at all possible, which is always possible. I've never worked in conditions where I've been unable to take fresh milk in a small bottle and keep it fresh long enough to be able to actually drink the fresh milk and to use it in my coffee. I've never been in a situation where that milk has actually gone off before I've gotten to use it before the end of the day. Sometimes I used to have a little tiny flask, and I would put milk in that one. So occasionally I would use the little tiny flask. Usually I didn't even have to worry about that. I would just use a normal bottle, because cleaning the milk out of the little tiny flask was always a bit of a nuisance. And you have to make sure that you clean the milk out properly, because if that goes a bit bad, then it will sour your milk the next day. There are plenty of people that drink black coffee purely for the reason that they don't have to carry their milk around. I'm not one of those people. I can drink black coffee if I've got to. And when I say got to, some people might start talking about how I may have an addiction if I feel that I've got to go and do it. Yeah, I do. I completely and totally and utterly have an addiction to coffee. Right? If I don't... Frithgar no function coffee well without, quite frankly. And I'm not going without coffee. Why should I? I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore. I drink coffee, and I feel that coffee is probably a lot better for me than the cigarettes. So I've got no shame. I'm not in the least bit ashamed of the fact that I am utterly and hopelessly addicted to my coffee, and if I don't have it, bad things will generally happen to anybody that is within about 100 miles. So you've had your warnings. Do not approach me in the morning. Like, I am absolutely fine and dandy with people approaching me and even talking to me in the mornings, provided I've had my coffee first. If I haven't had my coffee first, then don't approach me. And really, really, it is in your best interests not to talk to me either, because I struggle to deal with anybody at all, actually, without an appropriate amount of drugs in my system. By the way, children, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad, okay? Right? It's coffee, caffeine, the caffeine, yeah, that's the drug I'm talking about. I don't want anybody to suddenly turn around and say, oh, Frith is saying we should go and do drugs. No, I'm really not. That is not what I said. What I said was, I need coffee. And if I don't have coffee, I can't deal with people. And I'm sure there are plenty of people in the world who would also agree with me. And, right, well, we'll move on from there, because I feel I'm just going to get myself into more trouble. I'm supposed to be doing a pass along the top end of the field with this one, but I've kind of, like, let that one go by the wayside. Right, well, we'll leave it by the wayside. And you are still waiting on the sidelines. You can still wait on the sidelines for a bit longer, so we'll leave you. I do need to go and empty this one out. We'll do that once he gets up to the top end. But what we can do for a minute is we can get started on this one. So I'm going to start it up. I'll lower it down like that. And I want to turn the wheels like that. And then go around the outside edge of the field. I love this hay turner. I've loved this. I first got this hay turner with the angled wheels on it. I believe it was in FS15 that it came out, that it was first released. And I was doing a series on Melbury Estate, I think it is. I can't remember who it was that did that map. It was quite a good map. I quite like that map. Small English farm. Got a feeling it was maybe Oxygen David? I'm not sure. But anyway, and this one came out, and I remember using it for the first time in some of the fields there that I did some hay with. And it was the first farming simulator series I ever did, actually. And I do remember using this rake in that series, and I loved it. I thought that hay turner, tedder, well, we call them turners in this country, but tedders, a lot of people will call them tedders. I knew there was a bit that I missed. I knew it. I was sort of thinking to myself afterwards, no, hang on a minute, there is a bit that I've missed here somewhere, but I couldn't remember where it was. And it was that little bit up there. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's not like the end of the world that we've gone and missed that bit. But I knew there was another bit here somewhere. So I'm just going to bring this one up here. And I'm going to lower it down again like that. And I'm going to turn the wheels once more. bring it up over this way, and I'm just going to push the rake up the hill a little bit. So it was just that tiny little strip where the mower bounced. It only bounced a tiny bit. Oop. There's no. You know what? I'm just going to leave that bit. I'm just going to leave that bit. I'm not even going to worry about it. So we'll drive down here like this. Actually going to start pulling it in now. And then if you double tap the button to lift and put down your machine, it will actually straighten out the wheels beautifully for you. So I'm going to put it along like this. So I'm in quite tight. But then I got to move in a little tiny bit further just to be able to take in the bottom part of this. And there I can go and press H. Fill out that bit, and then you'll go and do the rest by yourself. Right, so that one is going to go and do that job right there. You up here, actually, I have caught you where I wanted to catch you for once, which is good. And I will do a quick double pass on this side. Both combines are currently sat full and waiting. I know. I need to be more organized. Let's run you down through there a little bit. You know what? That one... I'm surprised at this one. I thought that one would have actually gotten all the way round, but it didn't. All the way back down again. There's not a lot left for it to do. Same as that, they're both like it. They've both got just a tiny little bit of crop left. There's not very much to do on either of them. So I'll just run up here to this one very briefly and unload the bit in there. You see how quickly we've gone through the canola? Right, we have gone through it nice and fast this time. And this is what we're aiming to do. We want to be able to get through it quick. Now, like when we've got the bulkier crops like the wheat and the barley, the thing that slows us down is going and emptying out those combines. But if we've got a bigger combine with a bigger capacity, this has got a 60,000 litre capacity on it. We've got a wagon running around. I know we've got like a 100,000 litre option that we were just looking at from Stevie. I might actually modify that to take 250,000 instead. Don't know if I will actually. Might leave it with the 100,000. I'm not quite sure yet. But the 60,000 litres off the combine, that's the majority. Like, I can do a whole field and then just take the combine straight to the truck on the edge of the field, unload, and then move on to the next field. And that is going to save us an awful lot of time. So we then don't have to be constantly worrying about stopping it. It's only the very biggest fields where we've actually got to worry about unloading it. So a 100,000 litre capacity overloader is probably going to be about right. That should be okay. You can stop there. I've got that truck down the bottom. I'm going to take this one here and unload into the truck, and then the two combines, they can also come back down through and they will be able to unload into the truck at the same time. So truck can stay there. Combine, I should follow this one first. Right, there we go. That one's all done. That's it. We're finished. We've done the harvest. We've actually completely finished it in record time because we've got nice fast combines. We've got, well, the capacity on the combines doesn't matter quite so much at the moment. There's not like any major kind of impact on any part of it. But it does help a little bit. So I'm just going to bring you up here. Now, right now, I'm not going to concern myself with putting the combines away. We will eventually have to deal with that, but we don't need to worry about it just yet. So you keep doing what you're doing. You can stop doing what you're doing for a second and come over here, and then I'll set that one going down here. The time-consuming bit is going to be the cultivating. We'll be able to get going with planting pretty soon as well. Start you down there. Right, off you go, and then we can get this one down. Actually, before I even do that, I want to go to this tractor here. Now, 3 passes is what it takes on this field. We cannot do it in 2, so I'm actually going to go close to this side of the field here to ensure that I do have the 3 passes on this field. So that one's just going to go up there like that. Then I can take this combine and I can bring it down, and I'm actually going to just put that one out over the edge of that auger wagon there. The tractor here, I'm not going to worry about putting a planter on it. I'm going to actually be using that one to go on our forage wagon to go and pick up the hay, but I'm not going to worry about that yet either. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to drive that one to the shop so that I can go and sell the rake. Then I will buy the new rake that I want to get. So this combine here, let's put that spout away and fold the combine up. You can't start folding the combine while the spout is out, whereas other combines, I remember I think it was the New Holland combines in FS17. It might have been 15 actually in Bjornholm. You would have those combines and you could actually put them away. Like you put them away. You could actually start folding them up. And I liked that. I really liked that you could start folding the combine as with the spout out. And so what it would do is with the spout, because the spout on those would fold around behind the combine. So as the spout was being put away, it was also folding, and so then it would sort of finish being put away in an L shape. But I just thought it was really cool the way it would wrap around, and it would sort of fold the spout out at that side, and then wrap it or tuck it in behind the combine. It just sort of, the way that it flowed in, it looked quite cool. But you can't do that anymore, because it won't let you put this fold the combine up with the spout stuck out on the side. Which just seems to me to be a little bit odd. Now that right there is still not far enough over, so I'm going to bring it to about this point and then start it, and then we'll just put the hired help going on there. And you are next, so you're done, so let's fold that out. Once I've got the other 2 tractors, like we've got the fertilizer, that one I've just got to wait for that one to finish. Once that one is done, I will put the cultivator on it and get the cultivating started with that tractor, because that's the 2 jobs can take the longest. So those are the ones that we want to be focusing on the most at the moment, and then we can sort of deal with all the other jobs are kind of in between jobs. They're extra jobs that we've got to do on top of them. So helper I has completed. Let me just pop that back in there so that it's looking neat and tidy. Right, I didn't need to turn that one off at all. You are going to be ready to move as well. Let's have you. Right, that one has done all of the field properly. It's a little tiny bit over here. I mean, I said on the last field I wasn't going to bother with doing all of it, and then I actually ended up going back and doing it. So, yeah, right. Helper D, that is the hay has been completed up there. At least that one field. So we will go and get that hay turner, and we'll jump down to the next field and start doing that. I want to bring you up here like that, and yeah, that'll be fine. We'll go and do that field. So this one next. Let's go and move you down. So we got to make sure, we got to just, you know, angle the wheels. We'll do 1 pass around the outside edge, and then the hired help. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.